Okay, so we have been out here at Marble Canyon now for almost 2 weeks. The weather has been, for the most part, extremely gorgeous. Does tend to get extremely high winds out here, and it's just dirt. And the dirt sticks to you, sticks to everything, sticks to your clothes, sticks to the dog. I guess I would say out here, I don't like the dirt and the wind because I can't keep my trailer clean for sure. Can't keep the dog clean. I'm actually taking to wiping him down like several times a day. Every time I take him out, I bring him in and I have to wipe him down. Otherwise, he will track dirt everywhere. And he's still shedding. So I got hair and dirt and everything else. And that's something that I've had to adjust to because I'm neat and tidy. But it's unavoidable when you're boondocking out here. You can't really get a handle on it so much, especially when you have a dog going in and out constantly. Haven't really taken any walks out here because it is just a dirt rutted road. There's nothing really interesting to hike about. And honestly, in the last few times I've walked Kismet, he needs a different color. He needs something that I can get more control over him. He's a good dog. He just gets really excited to go on these walks and he pulls me along and it's not fun. So I'm holding my camera because I always wanted to do an update. I realized it's been a couple of weeks. Actually, I think since I was at the Grand Canyon on Easter, I finished my journal project and it was very profound for me. And I'm really glad that it's done. I kept a couple of the journals, and that's about it. Anyway, I'm glad that I finished my journal project. It's done. I was spending a lot of time living, obviously, in my past. And that isn't really what I wanted to do. But I did need to get through this so that I could be free to do new stuff, new projects, right? And that's where I'm at right now. I'm in the Word and I'm reading a lot. I'm reading the Bible in a year. So I'm on track with that. I'm a third of the way through because it's been more than 100 days. And then I do other plans. And I've been listening to audiobooks on biblical and spiritual matters that go much deeper than just the regular women's Bible studies that we're often guided to. My faith is strong, and I've done all of those Bible studies. And yes, even though I learn something new every time, that's just not the state of mind that I'm in right now. I'm in a learning mode, and I want to learn more deeper stuff. So more about the spirit realm and the angels and the demons by an author named Michael Heiser. I discovered him because I guess he recently just died, and somebody had posted something about his books, and I discovered them, and I've fallen in love. So I've been doing a lot of that, a lot of quiet time. This is probably the quietest boondocking space that I've experienced yet. And I mean that in context of there's not a lot of people around. The roads are kind of rutted. There's a lot more space out here than at the other places where, or maybe it's just not as popular. I don't know. I had some neighbors that were literally just like 30 yards away or less. He was considerate enough to ask me if I minded neighbors. I didn't know how long they were going to stay. They stayed a whole week. So they arrived the day after I did, and they left just a few days ago. I'm glad that he was here because he helped me with my generator and helped me troubleshoot an issue. And now I'm like, oh, got it. What I learned was that sometimes at different altitudes, the generator doesn't need the choke, and I was flooding it. So I didn't realize the altitude difference would make an impact on the generator. So I was really grateful to have them as a neighbor, but not even airplanes going by. And at nighttime, I don't even shut my blinds because, first of all, the view out of every single window, as you can see as I pan to this, the view out every single window is just gorgeous. And I like to see the sunset and the sunrise. And so by leaving the windows open, and I'm so far out, nobody can see in. We're leaving tomorrow just to go up to Page and stay. I found another boondocking spot. I already scoped it out last week. And hopefully it'll be good. But we're leaving early enough where I'll have plenty of daylight that if it's not, I could just find another spot. And now that I've grown accustomed and I've observed and I've watched how boondocking works, I feel much more confident. I've been looking at videos. That's another thing I've been doing, watching videos on training your dog not to pull you when you go out on a walk. That's the issue that we need right now is that he wants to pull me. And it's just because he's a puppy and he's so excited to be out walking and running and on trails, and I am too. But he's over 75 pounds now, and it's 3 times the effort just to get him under control. So, I've really adapted to this lifestyle. It's now been coming up on 7 months, and I really don't see myself wanting to get a stationary home, like an apartment or a house again, and selling the trailer or storing the trailer and only using it on weekends or like a couple times a year. I don't see myself doing that. I see myself continuing this journey, not sure where. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm mapping out. It's a general plan, mapping out places to stay and how long I know I will stay there. Mostly boondocking because I do like it a lot. Saves me tons of money as well. But I think that the first thing I want to do, one of the things I want to do is I do want to find a stationary location for the summer. I know that Arizona is not a place that I want to be during the summertime. Gosh, it was even hard to be there in October when it was still over 106 degrees. And I do want to check in at home with my parents, with my granddaughters and my daughter. I just learned that my son got a new job. And so my hope and my search right now is to find a place that I can stay for a couple of months. I keep thinking 3 months would be perfect because then I can take care of some other items that I want to take care of, like trailer maintenance, just preventative stuff that I need to learn how to do, and I don't know how to do it myself. So I would like to get a professional who does know to come out and spend some time with me doing some preventative maintenance. And obviously, I want to get it washed. Needs to get washed. I'm thinking, considering I have an office at Michelle's place which is a cancer resource center in Temecula, and I've been there. Maybe it's coming up on 2 years, but I don't. Honestly, the last couple of times I was in Temecula, I felt a sense of urgency to dive back into that business mentality, that business mode, and get busy and see a lot of people and follow up. And I think that I know that was God telling me, no, this is no longer the place for you. You've done your job here. So I'm thinking that I could save a few $100s a month by releasing myself from the lease at Michelle's place, get myself out of that obligation, because I don't think I'm going to go back and set up shop in Temecula. I'm not sure I'm giving up entirely on the badass brand or the badass programs or even the apple a day, but I'm not motivated to pursue any of that right now, mainly just because it would all be digital, which is fine, but I don't have the ability to do all the setup and making sure everything's going again and all the everything I did before felt like you have to throw a ton of money at it. And I'm not in a place where I want to throw money away to try to make money because I've already done that before. So that is why I signed up for this writing extension course with UCLA to begin working on my novels. There's one specifically that I've decided to work on it from the advice of a colleague and friend. And so far the feedback has been phenomenal. They think the story is exciting. Nobody's told me this is a dumb story, but a feedback on dialogue and the character development and some things that I put in that's redundant or something that I could describe more that would really bring the reader in. I think that this is exactly what I needed, is to take courses in writing novels. I've been writing all my life, but I've never done anything about writing a novel. So yes, honestly, I was guessing or presuming based on novels that I've read in the past or based on old creative writing trainings that are maybe passé now. So it's only a couple of weeks in and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I did choose to be one of the first to submit my work, and I was the first to submit my work because I wanted the feedback as soon as possible, and I'm grateful. So it's cheaper than one of those writing retreats that I thought I would want to go on. And who needs a retreat when I'm out here? I'm not distracted by anything else. I'm very grateful for the slow days and the reduced anxiety or stress of feeling like I have to be seen everywhere. I've really done a lot of soul searching, reflection, through reading through my journals. Everything that I have been out here working on and contemplating and self-reflecting and reading about myself with my journals is that it was never about fame or fortune. It was just about the fun of doing it and the excitement of presenting my work or a project or a philosophy and having people respond to it. Just like when I was dancing, I didn't want to be a dancer so I could be a famous dancer. I just loved movement. I loved dance and I'm very musical. And so dance was just a natural thing for me to do. And performing was always just, I felt more like myself on stage performing in dance than I do off. I'm introverted, but when I'm on a stage, I'm extroverted. And I think that carrying on with Badass and doing the speaking engagements and the workshops was just a way to continue to perform because let's face it, I'm too old to be a dancer now. But it wasn't about fame and it wasn't about fortune. And I feel very, I don't know, I just feel free from it. And I really just want to write my books. And even, do I expect fame and fortune out of them? No, but I want to learn the craft and I want to get these stories out of my heart and out of my head. And I want to give these characters life. And that's really what it's about. So I'm enjoying the process. I will probably continue educating myself on writing novels. This first one is probably something that nobody would really expect from me, utilizing my extensive knowledge of radio broadcast facilities and the industry and my sinister imagination. I have this interesting story to share or to write and characters to develop, and I'm excited about it. And yesterday was the first time to really go over all of the files that I've already created with notes and ideas and pages. And even though it's not anywhere near finished, the outline is, and I know what each chapter is going to expect. The characters are all developed. Several chapters are written with additional notes for additional information that's factual. And I'll post the picture up on this video. I even put my Post-it notes up on the wall with chapter outlines to keep me focused. And it gives me an opportunity to look at it and have it always there. It keeps it top of mind and it keeps me thinking about the story and the characters and the dialogue. And I see the whole picture laid out in front of me. That's what I did. That's how I work. And I was wondering how I was going to set that up here, but I'll figure that out as well. This is a journey. This is me. I don't want the word of rediscovering because it's not like I need to rediscover me. Reinventing. Okay. No, I'm writing the sequel. The first part is done. It's behind me. I tossed around the idea in my head about working for some friends of mine in radio sales. They own 9 or 10 radio stations in Arizona, in Prescott and Lake Havasu, Bullhead City, that kind of Colorado River area. Thought about it. Still would contemplate it. It wouldn't be my job. It would just be a means to make some extra money and maybe to keep my foothold in radio because it would be fun. But we'll see. But one thing I know for sure, if I wanted a job in radio sales, I could easily get it. And with my expertise, probably just negotiate my own deal. I was thinking is like, I don't need you to give me a base pay if you just trade out a campground for me to stay in for a couple of months. That'll be great. Just do that. And then pay me commission based on what I bring in. That's it. It won't cost you a thing. But we'll see, because I'm not giving up my psychotherapy practice because that is my bread and butter. And I do love it. I love my clients. I'm just not so sure I want to take on more and be even more isolated than I am already. Right now, what I'm feeling is that I still am out here doing my thing and I want to take time with this novel writing course and digging into my craft without all the distractions of other adjustments. It took me 5 months to get through my journals, almost 7 months to get to the point where I'm totally comfortable with boondocking. The hardest part about hitching up my trailer is literally backing the truck up to match the ball with the hitch, with the tone of the trailer. And that's just because you have to be precise. And I don't have somebody to watch over it and say, okay, go this far or go that far. I have to keep getting in and out of my truck. And that's the hardest part and the most time consuming because sometimes it'll take me 10 minutes to get it right. I was just sitting here praying, thanking God for the view. Thank you, God, for the sunrise. I get to see the sunrise and the sunset every day, and it's gorgeous. It's a different view every couple of weeks. I've stayed places that I didn't really care for. Have I decided on my favorite spot yet? I still think for now, Bulldog Canyon. And the reason that is maybe because it was my first experience and it's like you never forget your first time. So the first time actually boondocking, but it also had really nice hiking trails for me in Kismet, and it wasn't as dirty as it is here. Here is beautiful and quiet. I really do love it, but I don't love the dirt and I don't love the wind. Hoping the next few places are good. I'm going to go to Page and spend some time there, and then I'm going to head up into Utah. There's a few stops along the way, Zion or Bryce Canyon, making my way over to Moab and St. This is my update of Kismet and Kelly. He's just been out here just playing. He's learned how to play fetch. And it's funny, he prefers me sitting in this chair to bring me the ball back than me standing up and throwing the ball to him. So he's on this cable. I think you can see. It's like a 15-foot cable. I keep him chained up and it's hooked up to the running boards of the truck. I keep him cabled up, number because I don't want him running loose. He's a puppy. He may not listen to me, and he's done that to me a few times where I've tried to give him a little leeway and let him off leash, but he gets too excited and he thinks it's a game, and he makes me chase him down. So I leave him on this cable, and so we were playing fetch. Then suddenly he wants to play keep away. So I'm game. I'll play with him. But what's happened is that he runs around me and the cable gets wrapped around my ankles or caught in my shoe. And a few times he's tripped me and I've fallen. And I just can't have that. And so I wonder if the reason why he wants me in the chair is because he knows he won't trip me. But it's really sad because sometimes the ball gets further out than where he can go. And it breaks my heart. And he's learning how far he can go and he's very delicate with it. So we're communicating. I have learned that when we're in the trailer and he starts to nip at my feet or nip at my hands, he's telling me he needs to go out. And so I love the communication. When he needs a nap, I tell him, let's go to bed, and he'll get up and go to his crate. And if he doesn't want to go to his crate, he plays some sort of a keep away game with me in the trailer. Do you really think you can get away with me in this small space? All right, this is long enough, I think. It's a good update. I am doing much better. Still drama going on in family life, but I feel very removed from it and not, it's deliberate to set boundaries. I can keep an eye on things from a distance, do a lot of praying, practice some wisdom, take care of myself. This is the first time in my entire life I've had this kind of freedom. And I got to say, I love it. Am I thriving yet? I don't know. I still have a lot of grief, still some heartbreak, some healing that I'm doing. But I am feeling more, I don't even say myself because I literally lost all of me, all of what I was working on, all of what I was doing. I'm still me, but I think that I'm just writing a new sequel and I don't know who she is yet or who she's becoming. I wrote something inside, going through my journals. I saw where I've been, I saw where I'm going, and I see where I want to go. And I see where I want to go, but I also know that God has other plans and the world is still completely crazy and the economy is still a bit shaky and people are still really worried about all sorts of things. And I'm just glad to be out here in a self-contained travel trailer where I can go where I want, do what I want, still work and earn a living and maintain contact with important people in my life. And it's just me and my dog, girl and her dog. All right. So the adventures of Kelly and Kismet continue. Over and out.